Cześć, jestem Stefan Kaegi. Yeah, maybe it's more interesting than just bringing Asian art here and look at it as something very exotic, to ask ourselves what is Asian within Poznań? What does it mean when on my jeans it says made in China? What does it mean if the processors of my telephone are produced in a factory where workers jump off the rooftop to kill themselves? Or what does it mean if Poznań has people fighting in Afghanistan to defend Poland 15,000 kilometers away from here? So it's actually, I guess, more a festival about perspectives and projections into Asia. In a way, we pick up the tradition of streets theater here, which was traditionally more spectacular, big fire shows, big actions with formalistic movements. This has a root in a Polish theater tradition, which had always a very political intention as well. But it was always very full of messages and very symbolical. And I guess when we bring 20 audience members to a container which will be on the Rimini in downtown Poznań, and people step in there, and from outside it looks like an ugly container. From inside it is like a very comfortable cinema. And then you look to the screen and you realize actually you're looking at your own city from a Chinese perspective. Then this is maybe also streets theater, but from a very subtle approach. It'll be a festival which involves also the audience actually in the moment of its production. We have a project by Ant Hampton which actually thematizes the encounter of two audience members which look at each other, and through a technical device they manage to see a Chinese face in the face of the person sitting across. Dirk Fleischmann lives now in Seoul since about 5 years and is teaching fine arts there. And it sounded like a promising idea when he told me that he has a close connection to a special economic zone in North Korea. So actually just some kilometers away from where the rockets for outer space are being prepared this week to get launched from the North Korean side, which puts everybody in panic from Japan to Singapore in Asia. We are at this moment, as we are speaking, producing the festival t-shirt of the Malta Festival. So it'll be an object, will be present all over the town here. And just on the first look, looks like a quite fashionable t-shirt. But then Dirk will come to Poznań to talk about the people that have actually produced it, who have been stitching Polish words onto North Korean textiles. And this in a way will repeat an action of outsourcing, but in the same moment make it understandable, maybe show us the human side of it. When we started looking out for where do we find at all Chinese people living in Poznań, we had quite a hard time. We found one Chinese supermarket which is just going to be demolished very soon, a bit further down that street. But then, by chance, we came across a place which is the Mao Milk Bar, and we sneaked inside. We found somebody who apparently was a Chinese, but first surprise, he didn't speak any Polish, but also not really Chinese, at least with us. He speaks Malaysian, Turkish, and a very American accent English. He is son of a Chinese father, a Japanese mother, born in Hong Kong, grown up in Istanbul, London, Chicago and New Zealand, and has a father who runs a factory producing wooden floors, which are sold all over China, but also some techniques of it are sold here in Poznan. This is just a very surprising biography which show you that China is actually not exactly what we expect it to be in our prejudgments. A lot of cultural misunderstandings that happen whenever dissidents are locked up in China, or when Western culture is forbidden in China, or when Chinese come to Europe and have a different expectation than what actually comes up here. All of this will be part of this Malta Festival, the misunderstanding and the understanding, but it'll bring somehow maybe this network together which exists on the world. Witajmy na Festival Malta Poznań 2012. Idiom Akcje Azjatyckie.